is madness. This is not the kind of jam where you stand like a choopity begging for mercy. This is not a felon here, this is madness. Everybody mad. Where to go? Where to go? Where to go? Why you going there?
We have to be mad. This nation has to be a nation of mad people. The crap that we accept from government, and this time government, we're talking the whole parliament, the full 41, full clip. The front page of the news, they say Rowley mad. I say I think he insane. But we'll come back to that, because if Newsday, if Castani reached to saying Rowley mad, all of we end up on the same side at some point. The $100 bills, the new $100 bills, we jumping in there and we're going to splash around and see where we get from there, right? Here this question. I've given you all some time to think about it, so you could start to ask these questions too. How long did the process take from discussion? Rowley couldn't pull it out his drawers. He had to discuss with somebody. How long did it take? How long did it take from the discussion to the decision to plan to execution? Because planning takes time. All right, Stuart, you in charge of fooling people. Garcia, help him. Fool people too. In fact, all let us fool people. I'm going to hire some Syrians to do this job, as usual. Because I want to know the plan. What was the plan? The plan was change the $100 bills. It seems that the Bankers Association was left out of the conversation, because the Bankers Association saying that their machines can't feed that $100 bill. So it's not going to work if people are going to need ATM service. How long did the planning stage take to get to the decision? And the decision, we need to know, how long did it take to design, to approve the design, to get a quotation, to print it, and to deliver it to Trinidad and Tobago? How long did those steps take? 6 months? 6 months? Dane Ramsamooch just said they would say they had to spring it on the population to catch criminals, when the biggest criminals is in the government and the cabinet and the opposition and the parliament. I'm not telling you that. They tell us that. The PNM and the UNC have said to this nation for over a decade now that both of those parties are criminal. In fact, the current Prime Minister, Keith Rowley, said to the nation that the political party that he leads, that the Prime Minister of it when he wasn't the Prime Minister, the former leader Patrick Manning, Keith Rowley told the nation that Patrick Manning was a criminal, and that Patrick Manning, his government was the most corrupt government in this country's history. You all remember when Keith Rowley said that the Patrick Manning PNM was the most corrupt government in this country's history? Because if Keith Rowley say it, and he's the Prime Minister, I could quote him. So come in now, pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. If Keith Rowley say that the PNM corrupt, I could quote Rowley. Rowley said the PNM corrupt since O'Halloran days. He said that. That means Rowley said Williams was corrupt. Oh, you get that? Black Trinbago. The you are talking to you. The 500,000 of you without whom there can't be no PNM. Without Black Trinbago, because the 100,000 votes that just take place in local election, the 50,000 the PNM get, 49,999 black, and the other person red. PNM calls itself the Black Party. Without Morva, Bitam, Lavantel, Silots, Diego Martins, Northeast, Central and West. Without those seats, PNM dead in the water. The corridor, they just call that the die-hard communities, the ones that the UNC say is hotspots. You see how nasty? The same UNC that run the country for 10 years couldn't fix those constituencies, but have their trolls and their talking heads calling full communities in Trinidad and Tobago hotspots. You think these people are racist and disgusting and joke? stick another pin. We have a board full of pins to come back to. But Rowley said the PNM corrupt. And Kamla said Pandey corrupt. Pandey say Kamla is a drunk. These people, it is on their words I speak in. I talking to you with their words. All you forget, Rowley said Manning and Williams was corrupt. You don't believe me?
I went to the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago in August 2003 as a Minister of Government in Trinidad and Tobago, a PNM Minister, and told him that there was bid rigging taking place in Udicott.
He told him in 2003, this was 2009. He was in the same government for 6 years. In the cabinet for 6 years, ate cabinet food, drank cabinet wine, drew cabinet salary for 6 years, knowing he, Keith Christopher Mugabe Sabga Rowley, was in a corrupt government. He said so. Those are his words. Manning, blonde hair, blue-eyed boy, called the heart, fired Rowley in 2009. But between 2003 and 2009, what is most instructive about the character and the integrity of Keith Rowley is that despite the fact that he knew way back in 2003 that the government that he was a part of was corrupt and criminal, he not only sat there. There was an election in 2007. Keith Rowley campaigned for that same corrupt government.
What the Commission of Inquiry is looking at is 10 times worse than what happened with Piarco Airport.
Keith Rowley, who told the nation that Bastio Pandey was a criminal, that Ish and Steve and the Airport 9, 13 and 17, that our DPP has spent $150 million trying to prosecute for 15 years, and start that case over. The Keith Rowley that said at up to that time, Pandey was a criminal. Ish and Steve were criminals. What took place in Piarco Airport was $1 billion theft. Keith Rowley told us that in the parliament. It's in the Hansard. And now he told the nation in 2009 that his leader, Patrick Manning, was running a government that was 10 times more corrupt. Keith Rowley said that the government that he was a part of was 10 times more corrupt than the UNC's Bastio Pandey, who he said oversaw the theft of $1 billion in Piarco through Ishwa Galbaransing and Steve Ferguson and others. Keith Rowley told the nation that Bastio Pandey's government was criminal, that the UNC was corrupt, that they stole money through Piarco. Then Keith Rowley came and told the nation that Patrick Manning's government, Patrick Manning's PNM government, was 10 times more corrupt than Pandey's UNC. So that's at least 10 billion by my simple Mason Hall arithmetic. So if Pandey government corrupt and Manning government was corrupt, how did you continue, Keith Christopher Mugabe Sabga Rowley? How did you continue to sit in the parliament from 2003 to 2009? How did you sit in the government? 2003 to 2009. Keith Rowley talking to you. How did you sit in the government, in the cabinet from 2003 to 2009, knowing that you were upholding a thief? The Bible said the upholder is worse than the thief. How do you explain it, Keithos? How? How do you explain 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006 drawing salaries, eating cabinet food, drinking cabinet wine, knowing that the cabinet that you're a part of is 10 times more corrupt than Pandey's corrupt and criminal UNC? 2007 elections call. You had an opportunity to walk the length and breadth of the nation and say, my leader is corrupt, my party is corrupt, this government is corrupt, but you didn't. You didn't, because cabinet food and cabinet wine was too important to you. Cabinet salary was too important to Sharon and Shitu Charan, and possibly for your outside Charan too. Keith Rowley, I am talking to you. To you. And of course, the 500,000 black Trinbagonians who you claim through the PNM. Yes, talking to them too. Specifically talking to your sycophants and the ones who defend you. Because if Keith Rowley said that Manning's government was 10 times worse than UNC, 10 times more corrupt than the UNC, What is the justification people like Rhoda Barrett and Daryl Duku have for saying PNM better than UNC? Forget all that. Them things not important. You see, when it comes to political sycophants, trolls, and people like Keith Rowley, it don't have to make sense. It just have to make noise. And that's what these people do. And that's what they've done for 57 years. But I promise you this, I will drag them to the gallows of their own words. And I will hang them from it. Keith Rowley said to this country that the PNM was corrupt. How corrupt?
And it's even more brazen. The PNM is on trial.
Wait to see how corrupt.
Because those of us who were here and carried the O'Halloran stain.
The O'Halloran stain. The O'Halloran stain. Who was Johnny O'Halloran, you might ask? Some of you who are new to the world. Johnny O'Halloran was Eric Williams' bagman. When Eric Williams was plundering and stealing and distributing to make his daughter Erica Connell Williams one of the wealthiest women in the world, he did it through Johnny O'Halloran. So when Keith Rowley is talking about the stain of O'Halloran, Keith Rowley is talking about the roots of the PNM, how stink and corrupt it has been from the start. And what I don't understand of people like Rowley and Fitzgerald Hines, who black for black's sake, who will talk you into a tizzy, trying to explain to you why the PNM is his first choice, and Eric Williams was the God and Rowley is his prophet. But tell me, if Rowley say Manning was criminally corrupt, and Rowley say Eric Williams was criminally corrupt, how could Rowley have been in that government, in that party, for 31 years, knowing it corrupt?
We cannot take the position that this is all talk. In 1986, when we went to campaign in my area,
First of all, brother, pump your brakes. You're from Mason Hall, Tobago. The West, Diego Martin West, is not your area. You don't know Diego Martin West. You'd get lost in Diego Martin West. You use Diego Martin West as a safe seat because the PNM have built HDC housing projects and given it to people in exchange for their votes. What Morgan Job used to call voting mills, to uphold the criminally corrupt PNM that you spoke about, Keith Rowley. Yeah?
I was there. I don't know who else was there. I was there. And you're going door to door. And you're slamming doors in your face in Westmoreland, in Glencoe, in Bayshore.
Westmoreland, Glencoe, and Bayshore. Can't elect nobody to office. Westmoreland, Glencoe, and Bayshore are three of the smallest communities in Diego Martin West. He calls it his area, but he left out Bagatelle Cove in Rich Plain, Mason, Factory Road, La Puerta, Saganga, Abi Pujad, Big Yard, Scorpion, St. Peter's Point, Kumana, Caranage. He left out the real Diego Martin West. The people that have put him into office, who have fed his wife and children for 31 years.
All they're telling you about is O'Halloran. And today, every school child in this country knows that there's something called Utica and it smells to the high heavens.
By their words, you will know them. To those of you who thump your Bibles, let's thump away. That Bible says inside of there in 4 different places, hypocrites and upholders are worse than the thieves they uphold. Keith Christopher Mugabe Sabga Rowley, by his words, told us in that one 9-minute video, told this nation that the party that he was a member of was so criminally corrupt and diseased, and he didn't mind. In fact, he didn't care at all. He only came to us when he got fired. You see, when he went to the Prime Minister in August 2003, it wasn't to save the nation. It was to leverage information. Patos, this is why I know, you know. So we're getting the fit. Because you see, if Keith Rowley had anybody's interest besides Keith Rowley, he would have stood down. You see, Rudal Monilal get vexed with me this week. And Rudal is a guy I have a nice conversational relationship with. Because as usual, political parties think, if I am pleasant to you, then I might have a chance of working with you. And Rudal got vexed when I said, let me read exactly what I said. I don't even want to misquote my own self. I'll tell you what I said, and I want you to understand how serious you must be about your politics. You must be unimpeachable. You must be able to stand on your words. And I said, you replaced the failed and corrupt UNC that you voted into office to replace the failed and corrupt PNM with the very same failed and corrupt PNM. And when that did not work, you replaced that failed PNM with the UNC, which you then replaced with the corrupt and failing PNM, currently failing now. Rudal Monilal got angry with me for that. But Rudal had to pump his brakes and hold his corner. You see, the difference between me and Keith Rowley is this. And the handful of Syrian Kabbalists that looting the country, and yeah, I come in with my half of 1%, my half of Syrian self tonight, to deal with that too. We 5,000, we're the smallest, but we are the most powerful. I'm not going to stop dealing with that, especially since Gregory Aboud took it upon himself to try and come and rewrite history. They have no amount of doctorates you could hang around somebody's neck to change how they did what they did in their lives, how they came to have what money they had. No doctorate, no Trinity Cross, no Order of Trinidad and Tobago, no Shakonia Medal, nothing. There is nothing you can do to sanitize it. How you got what you got, how you got to where you are, claim it, own it. We could talk from there. Keith Rowley, if he had an ounce of character, a shred of integrity, I went to the Prime Minister in August 2003, September 2003. If it was Philip Alexander, I would have stepped down, I would have stepped out, and I would have made a big stink. Because that's what I've been doing. And I've been doing it constantly. I told the members of the Progressive Empowerment Party, if we as a party stray from our principles, with all of the effort that I put to build it, I will put twice that effort to burn it to the ground. We are not going to become what we hold in contempt. And Keith Rowley said this. He was contemptuous of the Prime Minister that he spoke to in 2003. I will let it go, but I want to stick this in your mind. If he knew that the government he was a part of was poison since 2003, how did it take him 6 years and an election to come to terms with that?
I went to the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago in August 2003 as a Minister of Government in Trinidad and Tobago, a PNM Minister, and told him that there was bid rigging taking place in Udicott.
Keith Rowley, you have been tried and found wanting. You are a liar. The Bible says a liar is worse than a thief. I remember Emailgate and watching this man read Emailgate into the Hansard and wondering why nobody didn't pelt something to wake up Wade Mark and tell him, brother, you cannot allow him to read that into the Hansard. You have to read it. You have to get legal advice. This man has crossed the line. He is committing treason to accuse others of treason, and you can't substantiate either position. You are the Speaker of the House. You were to stand it down. But anyway, I watched Rowley read Emailgate into Parliament, into the Hansard in the Parliament. And the one thing that has stayed with me, I don't care about anything else. I don't care about anything else about it. Whether or not Kamala and Ram Logan and them capable of murder and bugging the DPP office and all that shit, I don't care about that right now. What I care about is the fact that Keith Rowley lied. And the nation let him lie. And the media let him lie. And that he hasn't been charged with misbehavior in public office. And every single time that he and Faris and any of the others continue to defend Emailgate, it was a different charge of misbehavior in public office. You cannot hang something in the safety of parliamentary privilege and then quote it. You are piercing the privilege yourself. Our lawyers in this country are only interested in what could put more food in their fridge. We do not have activist attorneys who want to put aside self for nation. We have a dearth, a lack of good people, real activists who want a better Trinidad and Tobago, who have decided that their legacy, my legacy, should be written into history, that he dared to try. Dared to try. When you read Emailgate into the Hansard, I was listening. And all I heard was, you had a document that said the highest office holders in the land were going to commit murder. The leader of the opposition stood up in the parliament and told this nation he tried to commit treason. He tried to incite the nation into violence. He tried to destabilize a democratically elected government. And he has not yet been investigated or charged with treason. So then what are we doing? Is this a real country or a pretend country? When Keith Rowley read that, he said that they were frightened. They were aghast that the highest office holders in the land, the Prime Minister, the Attorney General, another member of Parliament, her security advisor, they were plotting to kill Denise Wren. And he didn't call Denise Wren. And he didn't call the police. And he didn't call the DPP. He didn't call the media. He didn't call anybody. He made an appointment with Max Richards. And he went to talk to Max. Of all the office holders in the country, the one with the least power, Max could do nothing. There is nothing Max could have done. There is nothing Paula May Weeks could do. That's why she throwing hissy fits over the anthem. Because the president's office is just a waste of money. It's like the parliament in the debate over the money that we're planning to print. That when the debate 30, all of us, the money done in the country. Magic. Because we debate and we agree, then we'll plan, approve, design, print, ship. 24 hours. 24 hours. Like the parliament sitting to debate that, a waste of public funds. If it is a fait accompli, if it is already done, what's the point? What's the point? But he went to Max and he made an appointment. Denise Wren. This ain't no chicken and chips piper looking to come and kill Denise Wren, you know. This is people who have power of the state. This is a country where a man who wanted to give evidence against an attorney general killed himself and hid his gun after. This is a country as dangerous as that. This is a country as dangerous as that. Understand? What he was reading into the Hansard wasn't that Denise fall out with Shiman and Shiman put a hit out on her and hire some cocorit bad boy. This was the opposition leader telling the nation that the Prime Minister of the country and her Attorney General, together with her National Security Advisor and MP Suroj Rambachan, were plotting to murder Denise Wren. That would have panicked me. If I hear Keith Rowley, Franklin Kahn, Stuart Young, and Andrew Gabriel meet in Adams to plot to murder somebody, I taking that serious. Serious like that. He had it in print. And he said he took it serious. But not serious enough to call the authorities. Not serious enough to get law enforcement involved. Not serious enough to give Denise Wren, the target of the hit, a heads up. In fact, he left it with Max for 6 months. That's how the PNM does work. The girl piece about something like Anil Roberts smoking the weed with some red girls in room 201 in Cascadia Hotel. Aha! We go hold on to that one for the right time. Because you see, in Trinidad and Tobago, we don't have a real media. What we have is a stunt brigade for sale to the highest bidder. And if you time it right, the stunt brigade don't have to investigate nothing. The stunt brigade don't have to ask the government that released the video, how did you come to be in possession of this video? That don't matter. The media didn't have to ask Keith Rowley, if you believed that there was going to be a murder, if you believe that the Prime Minister, the Attorney General, her National Security Advisor, and Suraj Rambachan were plotting to kill Denise Ren, if you really believe that to be true, why didn't you tell Denise? Why? This is a capital crime. Murder is a serious offense. Why didn't you tell the police? You didn't trust the police? You renewed that same commissioner of police. You renewed his acting stint. So you didn't trust the man that you were renewing to act? Have you done anything in your life, Keith Rowley, that we could look back on and draw a reference to say that we could trust with indelible belief that this is your position? Is there anything at all that you haven't waffled on, vacillated on, changed 180 degrees? Anything at all? Because I'm using all of this to make the point and I'm coming right back to these $100 bills. Because these $100 bills, somebody made that decision somewhere. A decision was made and the opposition had to be involved. Kamala had to know. Because if Kamala didn't know, and she didn't know that the $100 bills was already here, why is she not making a fuss? Why they not making us stink? Why they not asking the same questions we asking? You want to use this. You say 14 days to change your $100 bills so that we could catch people who's sitting on money. First of all, nobody sits on Trinidad money. They're sitting on US, and you have no control over that. The most you're going to catch is stupid criminals, and they don't matter in the big scheme of things. You're going to catch the zessers who does make the money, who does make the videos, throwing a couple $100 in the air. That's who you might catch. The mask around your face, gun in their hand, bandits. The small criminals. You won't catch the banks who are depleting the public's accounts every single minute of every single day. White-collar theft and crime. Because of a lack of regulations in our financial sector, banks are treating the customers like a feeding ground. So people deposit their money in the banks not because they want to, but because they have to. Because if the government comes to your house and finds that you, who are working for yourself, who are self-employed in a law-abiding business, and you have $350,000 in your house, you have to explain that, and they could make you a criminal co-conspirator and make proceeds of honest work illegal. That's what we've done. We've written laws. We've written laws to prevent crime ostensibly that facilitates greater crime. The lowest earners in this country, minimum wage earners, spend $72 billion a year in this country. 72 billion minimum wage earners. That's the size of our economy. That 194,000 minimum wage earners, every time they speak, I get a new fact and I keep it. 194,000 minimum wage earners spend $72 billion a year. You can't save $2,800 a month. You can't. You cannot live, even if you're a bachelor, you can't live on $2,800 a month. You could survive. you could get by. You have a trust and a credit, and you're uncovering Peter to cover Paul, and every single day you're bobbing and weaving to keep things, and minimum wage you're not saving. So when that $2,800 is paid into their bank account, because Subway and KFC and Royal Castle and Amalgamated Security and even CPEP and HDC, they're not paying you in cash. They're paying you into the bank, because that's what the banks want. The banks want that the money come into the account, even if they take, even if all they get from that 72 billion, and this is the lowest class, this is the minimum wage earners, but even if all they get as a bite is a 1%, that's $720 million for keeping a spreadsheet item. Nothing changes hands, you know. It's just a spreadsheet entry. 720 million. So when people ask how banks making billions of dollars in this country, raping the public. A Progressive Empowerment Party government guarantees you this. And Republic, Scotia, and RBC could go to hell. First of all, First Citizens Bank will be put back to be the People's Bank, and it will be the bank by which all financial instruments that protects the public is started. We will regulate the financial services sector, especially the banks. A Progressive Empowerment Party government will write into law regulations that govern interest payments and fees in banks. It will write into law the terms under which any financial institution operates as a bank in Trinidad and Tobago. It will write that into law so that it could open the economy and open the market to competition, to other banks who are willing to come and do genuine banking, take your deposit from you, pay you 3, 4, 5% interest on your money so that they could lend it out and charge 13, 14, 15% interest. Credit cards that has usury rates. Credit cards that dig out your eye and chop off your neck. That credit card is not the bank's money they're lending. It is poor people money they're lending. People money in that bank, those spreadsheet entries moving around. Dot to dot to dot to dot. And other people spending your money and the bank making 30, 40, 50% interest and charging you for the privilege of it. If you want to protect the people from crime, protect them from that crime. They don't have enough blue notes in Mattress and Mason Jar in people's yard to make up for that. Don't fool us with stunting bullshit. You have one chance to trap people and you use it Christmas time. Christmas into Carnival, the time of the year when the majority of Trinbagonians put themselves in debt. I had friends who owned a jewelry store in West Mall called Quinn's, the DeFreitas family. And I used to lie because all of us went to St. Mary's College together. Amos, Anselm, and Anthony DeFreitas. Anthony died. He was in my class. And he died from brain cancer a couple of years ago. But I used to lime in their store because my father had a store in West Mall as well. And we'd all go there after school. So I'd lime in Quinn's in the back office with the DeFreitas brothers. And I remember asking Anthony once, because all the time in this jewelry store, now this was the 80s, this was the height of the recession. But for all the time that we were there, if you get one customer a day, you get a lot. And in all the time I asked him, I said, Anthony, how are you all surviving? He said, like a lot of stores in the mall, 11 months out of the year, we just digging a hole paying rent, paying electricity, paying staff, digging a hole. But Christmas time, we make back all our money. We make the money for next year, and we go again. You're going to drop a guard to catch those who hoarding money, and you do it at a time when money just flowing free, when everything buying and selling in cash, when stores that normally doing $2,000 or $3,000 a day going into the bank for the 21 days of December, those same $1,000, $2,000 a day store depositing $40,000 and $50,000 in cash. Who you fooling? And which thieves have been successful at getting the money and stashing the money that you could blindside? Who's so stupid? They have something else in this. Like they have something else in the Unipet thing. $100 million in gas. It's not a lot of gas, you know. $100 million is a rollover fund. Something else going on here with this Unipet. Call me Bert. Somebody trying to get Unipet gas stations. I remember watching Kamala and friends shut down gas stations, and I watch people who run for elections for the UNC now sitting down on big gas stations. Because gas station is racket in this country from Gene Miles days and Johnny O'Halloran that Rowley spoke about. Remember when they killed Gene Miles? They killed Gene Miles for exposing gas station racket. $100 million in the 23 Unipet stores is not a lot of money. A lot of the things that coming out of the government and the media is printing on the front page of their birdcage liners. Not making sense. None of it adding up. But in this pappy show land, where everything is a pappy show, we have to be able to ask of Keith Rowley, do you think we are asses? Do you think that the little stunt that you're stunting going to fool us? We're seeing you. You're not invisible. How could you debate something yesterday and it be ready today? And worse, and I had to ask today, who is the jackass that decided to close down town to move the money? Who is that jackass? Fire that jackass. That jackass inconvenienced an entire top half of a country today and cost us billions of dollars in lost man hours. That jackass, and the jackass who approved it, and the jackass who carried it out, fire all of them. You are moving money that is not in circulation. You just approve it in the parliament. But if they thief it, you could say, well, they thief it, so it's just paper. Because it's just paper. It's literally paper. It's not expensive. So there are a couple containers of new notes not in circulation. So if somebody thief it, you could just say, well, okay, we won't circulate it. So it's no longer legal tender. It's like KFC dollars, Monopoly dollars, or like soon to be Trinidad and Tobago dollars. But if it's not yet in circulation, until it is in circulation, you don't need to secure it. You just need to account for it. You could have moved those new blue notes on the backs of open tray tritons through the beatum. Nobody touching it. Nobody touching it. Why? Because if you thief it and you try to spend it, not yet in circulation, we will find you. And if we find Johnny from the parlor that you buy the Broadway from, but it's not you that be using doubles man that buy the Broadway, but Harry buy the doubles from you and you buy the Broadway and all of it, we could find where this $100 come from, because every single person that see that $100, the first thing they're going to ask, because we have this $50 note 10 years now, and plenty people, myself included, don't want it. We don't touch it. Keep it. Give me 2 20s and a 10. I don't want that $50 note. Since it come out and all the bacchanal that went on with it and all the things they say they draw on it and all that shit, keep that crap. So a lot of us, as we see it, we're going to ask, this real? This real? So it's not like you're sneaking it past anybody. You didn't have to shut down the country and throw everything into chaos to move money that could be valueless on an announcement. Police at every intersection. Big police truck blocking off Wrightson Road. For what? For what? Stunt? Like the theater in the parliament yesterday. Stunt? Debate it? If you don't decide it, and it done here, and you don't have that stunt in place to move it this morning, what was the debate for? To waste money? To waste the staff money to come out to the parliament to hear y'all talk shit? What was the point of the debate? What was the point of shutting down the capital city today to move money that was untouchable, that until it is in circulation is unusable, it's untransactable. You could achieve all what you're going to do with it. If it's not in circulation, you cannot spend it. What was the point of this stunt? What? To demonstrate again to the public that you have no idea what you're doing? Trinidad and Tobago, our reality is not changing. It is worsening by the day. Those of you who still getting fooled by race vote, I am half Syrian. I am one of those 5,000 people that Peter George talk about. I don't feel like I am the most powerful. He said we are the smallest and we're the most powerful. I ain't know about that shit. Syrian people, normal Syrian people, decent people. There are a handful of them that own 5,000 property. And I still don't understand how they transition from cloth to property. And I've been saying for decades, if cloth had that kind of money in it, we'd have a ministry of cloth by now. It doesn't make sense to me. But one day, if it is God's plan that I am the holder of the book, I will find how you move from cloth to 5,000 properties. I want to know. If you have 500,000 black people in Trinidad and Tobago voting for the PNM, that given a handful of Syrians all those contracts for buildings, like the Nahus family, Faris in-laws, Michael Nahus, don't talk to me anymore. He's my brother-in-law, best friend. Let's go to Blanchishes together and drink. No problem. He ain't talking to me. He vexed with me. All of a sudden, I see him on Samuel Stafford Wall and Rhoda Barrett Wall. Anybody that given Philip stick, anybody that want to challenge Philip will now get a friend from Michael Nahus, because Michael Nahus pissed that I grew up with him. And he is my brother-in-law, best friend. But I will call him out for the buildings that they rent in the government. Because I don't understand it. The rent we pay is San Nicholas for that oblong building in town to rent all the floors. We could have built 2 of those buildings already. With the money in Unit Trust and the money in First Citizens Bank, we could have spent our money. We could have borrowed the money from the public bank. We could have taken a mortgage and still save money and own the buildings. Why we renting from San Nicholas? On both sides, customs 50 years now. Why are we renting customs house from East St. Nicholas 50 years now? Why? And why are PNM people, the voters, so stupid to take this chain up for all these years, to listen to your current Prime Minister tell you how corrupt your party is? Keith Rowley has told every black person in Trinidad and Tobago, every grandchild of Africa, every Afro-Trinbagonian, whatever you want to call yourself, Keith Rowley has told you that every single version of the People's National Movement has been the most corrupt thing in the country. He has said it. You don't believe me? Listen to him.
Minister of Trinidad and Tobago in August 2003. As a minister of government in Trinidad and Tobago, a PNM minister, and told him that there was bid rigging taking place in Udicott. What the Commission of Inquiry is looking at is 10 times worse than what happened with the Piarco Airport. And it's even more brazen. The PNM is on trial. Because those of us who were here and carried the O'Halloran stain, we cannot take the position that this is all talk.
You can't take the position that it is all talk. Who you think he was talking to? You, the PNM voter. It is you. It is you he was talking to. You who don't own a security company. You who can't get a Soul Select contract. You who can't get the award to mow the lawns in HDC and Udicott. You who can import, bring, sell, bid, nothing. All you could do is take handout that they cut and they measure for you. And they measure it in such a way that they manipulate the economy and what you could buy with it. So if Roger and Abdullah and the rest of the marching jackasses con you into believing that marching for increased wages helps you, do a little research. And the price of everything important before and after every time you get a wage negotiation. Every rounds of wage talks, check the prices of oil, cooking oil, gas, cooking gas, eggs, bacon, meat, saltfish, flour. Check those things. Before and after transportation, gas and diesel. Check it. Check and see what the rounds of wage negotiation that tell you I was working for 17 an hour, I'm working for 21 an hour, but now, today, it cost me more money to get to work and more money for the groceries that I was buying at 17. Net loss. I've lost money. I've lost ground. I've lost position. Thinking that I'm winning. Supporters that come out in sun and rain to vote for you, despite the fact that you've been advantaging them for all the 57 years of this country's independence. Smiley Can, Franklin, Stuart Boy, Stuart Young, all of you, what you're going to do to them PNM voters. Faris, you and your in-laws, what are they doing to PNM people? Why a black man in this country didn't get the contract to supply the bulbs? Why it had to be one of the 5,000 most powerful? Time to business though. Because rolling blackouts, no water in your pipe, gas running out, time to business, you know. Don't wait to reach outside the grocery to see security saying 5 at a time, US only. 5 at a time, US only. You don't have US? Can't come inside. Hold your corner and wait. You have 10 minutes, full of basket, no trolley. When you see that day come, ask the Venezuelans, you know, and you're going inside the grocery that you used to shop in before, the air condition off, the place smelling like death, they have 2 cashiers and managers watching everything. And you're walking down aisles and the shelves are empty. Some black plantain and some wilted celery greeting you and some moldy bread. And you're thinking, do I spend my US for this? Don't wait for that to be our story. You think it can be our story? Your government is fooling you at every step of the way. You don't think it could get worse? Look at where we are. Look at where we are as a country and tell me if it is not way past time for we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, to take responsibility for our country, regardless of race, color, creed, or class, to stand together as one people under one flag and vote those 2 corrupted parties into our history, onto the political ash heap, into the dustbin. Neither the PNM or the UNC have ever kept their word. Neither the PNM or the UNC have ever been something that you could trust. The same criminal contract mafia of the 1% that function and flourish when the PNM in office, do so when the UNC is in office. There is only one way to fix Trinidad and Tobago, and it is to fix it, is to take responsibility for it. And those of you who are afraid of these people and think that they will wage war to defend their ill-gotten gains, we will fight them. We will win. We will make sure that we will break the hands, the backs, and the necks of the criminal white-collar criminals. We will fix Trinidad and Tobago because it is our right as a people. And if what you want is a better country for you and your children, it is time for you to stop bullshitting yourself. Stop bullshitting each other. Stop posting to Facebook like everything is all right in your world when it isn't. They've stolen your car. They've invaded your house. They've raped your sister. Your mommy missing. Your job lost. You can't get foreign exchange. You don't know when next you're getting water in the pipe to wash the clothes. Stop pretending that it is okay. It isn't. The only way to fix Trinidad and Tobago is to fix it. To stand together as one people under one flag and do what is right and best for all of us. Are you ready? Your picture of tonight on the avenue or on the prowl or in the dance, in the residence, you're in one Woodbrook Place. Wherever you go to stunt and pose, stop for a minute. Check your bank balance. Check who you're owing. Check the conditions of your family around you. Find out if a critical illness could wipe you out. If it could, if loss of your job could wipe you out in 2 months. If the failure of government to hold prices outstrips your ability to feed yourself, stop wasting money to impress people who don't like you. They don't care about you, and they'll forget whatever is the latest style you're wearing today when they see somebody wearing the latest style tomorrow. Stop it. Time to take responsibility for yourself, for your life, and for your family. We're going nowhere, and we're going there fast. If you want to fix it, you have to help us.
If it is that who you're voting, ready or not out. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the proven to be your equal amount. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the time is now, then
Assisted with today's barrel sale. We did fabulously to the New York chapters and Canadian chapters and the Florida chapters, Hazran, Ian D'Souza, and the rest of the crew who assisted. Thank you all very much. We did very well. The sale continues tomorrow. We wrap up the barrel sale tomorrow. Everything that is left, marked down, clearance prices. If you're not yet finished your Christmas shopping, come to 10th Avenue, Barataria, opposite Maritime Plaza. The Progressive Empowerment Party, one of our major fundraisers, is our barrel sales. And to the people who keep coming and supporting us, and the people who do all the shipping and the selling and the buying, and to everybody, to Akil Camps and the crew who set up that place in a minute to make it almost into a mall. Listen, fantastic work. Everybody keep up the good work. Those of you who do not know, on the 14th of December, we have our Christmas party, another fundraiser, but it's going to be a fun time. It's $150 a ticket. Come and join us. If you can, it's at Chancellor Hotel. Come and meet the team and have a good time. Yeah, we engage in continuous fundraising because we don't want to deal with those who politically give to get. Nobody pulls the strings of the Progressive Empowerment Party. And you could be my friend today and vex with me tomorrow. I don't mind, as long as I'm standing on the side of the angels. Yeah?
If for 30 years you voted them in, and there's only tears,
What's somebody make for me?
they give you big words and enslave your soul, promising you roads and giving potholes. If they are the reason why the economy goes brown,
I got this today.
when you're voting, vote them out, vote them out. If it is the passing laws that them alone can block,
That's me.
when you're voting, vote them out, vote them out. If it is the building ISAs, east, west, north, and south,
I went Price Smart this afternoon with my mother and my sister and Bella and stuff. We went to do shopping. And for all the time I am in Price Smart and in Movie Town, I am just being bombarded with requests for selfies, for pictures with me. And I really just, it was fun because I never expected that this would be my situation. And it's for two things. People walk up to me to talk to me either about politics and they support, like the gentleman who did this cup. I'm waiting to get the name of the company. They really give you mileage because I appreciate the cup. I didn't ask for it, but I love it. And you should get some mileage for the work that you do because there's real good work. You make me out to be St. Christopher. I love it. I love that. But everybody taking pictures. And it's one of two things they want to take pictures for. They want to take pictures because of politics. So I can't guess why people are walking up to me, or they want to take pictures because gunman in your hole. Now, I mean, that is the silliest thing of all. But you know what? That youth, young people, urban youth, people that used to be outside of who I could naturally strike up a conversation with, striking up the conversation with me. They just, I mean, what I say, they're just coming up to me and asking, boss man, we taking pictures. So you're going to see me all over Facebook on pictures and posts, and I am happy to do it. Yeah, I GT, I get through. I learning all them sayings. I on Instagram now and I trending, and that's all very cool as long as this cup and everything else, all of those pictures, anything. Every time I do it, pep starring. It's all for the movement, and the movement is for a better country. If you want a better Trinidad and Tobago, come and help us. Little Hands started this movement. What it has become now is unreal. I can't keep track of it, and it's so impressive. What we need to do as a people is to stand up. All we have to do is stand up and the game ends. You don't have to march. You don't have to burn nothing. You don't have to burn down nothing. You don't have to go violent, nothing. Just stand up. Stand together. I in front. I take in all the licks. 5 lawsuits. I take in all. Stand together. Just stand together. Stand for that flag. You don't have to stand for me. Stand for the flag. One people under one flag. Stand for the community of people. Red, white, black, green, and every shade in between. Stand together, all of you. That's what I'm loving about. And you know, and I'm telling you, sometimes it's hard to not believe in a higher power. Because something ordained that all to happen. Because a whole level of Trinidad and Tobago have found me and claimed me and are involved in what I am loving every minute of it. If that's not the hand of God, then you tell me what is. You tell me what is the hand of God. They having a Zessa cruise tomorrow. They put me on the thing. I tell them I don't go on any cruise. I've never been on a cruise in my life, and I don't plan to start now. They say, well, we're having an after party. The crew go in, and we pass through. No problem. Yeah? A better Trinidad and Tobago is what it's for. It's what it's for. A better Trinidad and Tobago, the Progressive Empowerment Party, its mission, our mission. The crew of people that are doing this work. I mean, Usha and Felicia and Sean and Akil and Daniel. I don't want to leave out nobody. Teresa, Lorena, with her injured foot, she still show up to work. I mean, the people that work so hard today with that barrel sale and Richard and everybody just comes and just gives of their best. They give all. And it had to be for love of a better country. And if we could get to a place where it is enough of us, so that we know that we're going to vote and win and fix it, that'll be a better time for all of us. Yeah? Yeah? Akim Alain is telling me to bad up the scene, wine on two bumper. I'm taking it on face value as to what you tell me, and I'll work it out, I promise. Yeah? So, to all of you who helped, and back to the Christmas party. If you don't yet have your tickets for the Christmas party, please, there are a couple more. Dion Andrews is in charge of sales of tickets. You can message him right here on my wall. Mr. Sukdeo, Shogunas West, Shogunas East, we come in everywhere. We come in everywhere. This is a mission to rescue Trinidad and Tobago. It is completely devoid of any notion of race, color, creed, class. We don't want to know who you're praying to. We don't want to know who you're lying down with in the night. We are coming for the job of government. That's all we want. Fix the country, secure the nation, right-size the economy, make sure that all of the people can maximize their full potential and live lives of hope and opportunity, bless the children with security, and give them a chance to be their best selves, to shine for the world to see. That's what we want. That's all we want. We want to be the government. We want to be your servants. We want, when we're done, you could tell us, Mr. Philip, you say you was going to fix all the roads, but there are 2 roads left to fix. I'll take that stick. Mr. Philip, you say hospitals was going to work, but we're still waiting 20 minutes for a doctor. 20 minutes not good enough. Right now it's 10 hours, but 20 minutes still not good enough, and we'll fix that. We'll fix it. Mr. Philip, you said we would get water 24/7. I still don't have water on a Tuesday morning. We will fix that. We will get to the point where jobs are available for everybody. Not twirling baton, stuffing fries. But if you want to do that, do that. But real jobs. Jobs that could be careers. The average person, you don't need 1,000,000 degrees. You just need a brain and the ability to learn and the commitment to do a good day's work for a fair wage. And we will make sure that there are proper jobs in this country. And that once you have a job, you can own a home. I guarantee you that. And we will show you how easy it is to fix it. We will show you how we will break the backs of the drug trafficking empires. We will secure this nation first and lock it down from outside in. And everybody who feels they're bad inside, show me, step up. Step up. Make your play. You will end up in a box or a cage. I'm not joking. We want a better country. And all of you who got away for so long with so much crime, the days of your glorifying yourself is coming to an end. A swift and certain end. Trinidad and Tobago, we want a better country, and we're not going to get it by pretending. The wrongs that exist in Trinidad and Tobago are not existing. We have to fix it. We have to get rid of the criminal mindset that starts at the very top. We have to fix Trinidad and Tobago for ourselves, our aging selves, and for the next generation and for generations to come. If you do not have tickets, Dion Andrews, Felicia Holder, Shari Wilson, Satish Ramsaran, Akil Camps, Anthony Henry, Michelle Davis, Matthew Gibbs, Debeli Jaikaran, Anthony Defoe, Lima McLeod Wilkinson, Janice Lemon Creaky, Akila Bermudez, Natalia Moore, Adrian Logie. Run through the teams in Trinidad. If you're in Toronto, reach out to Joan and Anthony Senanan. Their team in Toronto, Diane Saldana, Kamal Lochan, Gaj Ramlal, Gary Felix, Devika Ali, Lisa Gobin, David Bruno Holt, Joel Kissoon, Kezia Rampol, Errol Sitahal, Arnold Jaglal, and Joan Senanan. That's the Toronto team. In New York, we have in Florida, we have Rose Fongchong and Sals Jagasa Saladin. In New York City, we have Denise Xavier, the New York chapter. We have Denise Xavier and her crew, including the Birchwood brothers. Denise has to publish her team. We also have Ian D'Souza and Hasred D'Souza, staunch helpers, Bermudez Biscuit indeed. If you want tickets, please reach out. Message me. Message me if you can't remember none of those names I called. Message me. Buy a ticket. Buy 2 tickets. Help us. Even if today I bounce up one of my friends, you know these guys who are in the wheelchairs and they be outside groceries selling curry Q. Now they're having a Christmas dinner ticket. It's $100 for a ticket. And I'm saying this to you, not to tell you what I do, but to tell you what you should do. When you see them, if you could buy a ticket, buy 2 tickets and leave it with them. You help 2 people. You help them and you help them help somebody else. Win-win. Yeah? Help them because they are really challenged in Trinidad and Tobago. Imagine being, on top of everything else, life is so hard in this country. Imagine being differently able or confined to a wheelchair. A Progressive Empowerment Party government will make sure that jobs that require customer service behind a desk are first held for people confined in wheelchairs. Because they're already sitting down, so why we don't give them first preference to the sitting down jobs? Why don't we have governments with heart for people like that? It's time to get to there. It's time to fix everything. Yeah? We could do it. We could do it with your help. We need your financial support. Felicia Holder, who is the chairman of the party, is also the chairman of the fundraising finance committee. If you can help us, this morning I took a walk to go and get doubles, and a lady in a very big BMW pulled over, and she called me over and she introduced herself. She said she would like to help the party. And I said, fantastic, take my number, and I waited on the call. And we like that. If you want to just genuinely help the party, to help the country, come on board. We need your assistance. $10 a month, $50 a month, $100 a month, whatever you could comfortably donate to feel like you're a financial member of this party, now is the time. This year, 2020, this year coming, is a critical time in the development of Trinidad and Tobago. If what you want is a better country, join us. Until tomorrow, stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.